Hello and welcome to Pepperdine Esports, the West Coast Conference first game of the season against the University of the Pacific, or the Pacific Tigers. I am Grace RamseyIsMey Ramsey, and this is my co-caster.
Cody, hey guys.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a mix-up going on for this first WCC game of the season. But before we get into that, this is also a best of one. So whoever wins this wins this. This is not a best of three series like it was for CSL. And as always, we will be operating with the 3-minute spectator delay in client, as well as a 2-minute spectator or 2-minute delay just in general on this stream. So all that stuff out of the way. We wanted
All
to
right.
talk about the interesting changes to the Pepperdine lineup.
Yeah, I was talking to Santo and he said that we are indeed in LCS order right now. So for the viewers, we have Julian in the top lane, Scott in the jungle, Windchill, mid, Santo bot, and Tsuyu
And
support.
Julian is the watermelon god, just so you know. We've
Yes,
seen him
and
before.
yeah, usually it's Scott top, Windchill jungle, Santo mid, 2 AD, and then we have one of our three supports play, but it looks like none of our three supports are playing today, which is very interesting.
Yeah, and I think we're doing picks and bans live, which will be fun.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
But
right in client. No
yeah, a little
pro
bit of
draft today.
hmm
Let me turn my microphone down. I think I was deafening some people. It's fine.
But yeah, Tsuyu or Tyler too is he was a support main when I played with him. So this is very interesting. I know Santo plays AD in
Ooh.
secondary and Winchill used to main mid, so
Yeah, we're getting right into draft too, so we'll have to see how this turns out. You might notice some of the names from the University of the Pacific team are familiar from last season. iTunes gift card, Google Play card, and iCarry we've all seen before. I don't think we've seen Sir Andre or Dolan's ring here yet, so it'll be interesting to see them. And a Seraphine band. Pretty expected.
and a Skarner band comes out for Sir Andre.
Interesting, because it looks like Sir Andre has not played a lot of Skarner thus far this season. They might just be banning out strong jungle picks. It's interesting to note that none of the players on the side of University of the Pacific seem to have been playing much support recently. So, be interesting to see. We might see a Thresh ban or a Blitzcrank ban towards the support, but other than that, I think they'll be targeting other lanes primarily.
It looks like the Vladimir band is targeted at the watermelon god Julian, so wow, that's just presence right there. They're scared.
Respect ban, first official game in 2021, already with the respect bans.
And Orn coming out, okay.
Just a nice,
Yeah,
safe top lane pick.
I'm very interested to see where Pepperdine is going with this, with the Skarner and Orn bands.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that in the play history of University of the Pacific. But again, solo queue op.ggs aren't necessarily the most accurate way to scout, so.
That's right. And no ban
I have
coming
a
out.
strong feeling that's a mistake. I am poised over the button so that we can transfer if we end up getting booted out.
We'll see what Pepperdine goes with here. Kaisa ban.
All right, there might have been a direct message to the side of Pepperdine telling them what that ban was, just so that we didn't have to restart draft. Echo picked up for Dolan's ring.
Dolan's ring. Echo is his most played champion, so looking to pull out the comfort here.
Yeah, it looks like Pepperdine wasn't too worried about it though. Maybe the Udyr.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise. Udyr for Scott.
Udyr did get nerfed in the most recent patch, 11.3, so I do not know if he's still as strong, although the buffs were the nerfs were quite minor, so.
Yeah. Definitely not out of the game. I would still expect he's strong. And are we going to be seeing a Senna? Probably support for Suyu?
Maybe.
I wouldn't expect AD carry.
I looked at the Senna build that we were talking about last game, and it seems like Kraken Slayer into Rage Blade and Rapid Fire is the meta build right now.
Interesting.
It is. I've seen a lot of pro players play it, and it seems to rely on her Q procking, her counting as an auto, so that procs Kraken Slayer, and her insanely long range. And it seems like really good.
Important to notice, Malphite Yasuo, a combination that has traditionally caused Pepperdine quite a bit of grief here in the WCC. In fact, it was run in a game that they lost last season pretty abysmally against University of the Pacific.
Wow.
We'll have to see if University of Pacific can do it again and trip Pepperdine up with that pick. Those picks.
So this Echo then either looks to go jungle or bot again. And from our last broadcast, Echo bot proved to be quite the challenge for Pepperdine.
Yeah, I think maybe University of the Pacific saw it and are trying to cause the mental break from Pepperdine here in Champs Select, but
yeah,
they're not treating it like it's a bot pick though, banning out the Samira.
So Shen comes out for the Watermelon God. Looks like he will be playing safe, or it'll just be a tank versus tank matchup.
That could be a Yasuo Malphite bot lane, just to be spicy about it.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
We're in collegiate WCC play here.
You're absolutely right. Anything can go. So
anything is meta here.
You know what? I want to see the Yasuo Malphite bot.
And honestly, with Santomasi playing AD carry, they might have picked the Yasuo away from him because he tends to take the Yasuo bot lane. So
that's a very good point. I don't know how much practice Santo has been getting on AD carry, so indeed. It looks like just a targeted ADC ban from the side of Pepperdine, looking to put Santomasi on an easier matchup.
Certainly be interesting to see.
Of course, they could also go for fasting Senna and have Santomasi on a tankish support and have Zuyu take over the AD carry role while on support.
Yeah, a lot of flexibility here. Excuse me. Nautilus.
Very interesting.
It looks like it could be fasting Senna here.
I would like to see Santo go with Nautilus and Tsuyu go with the Senna and they go fasting. But it looks like they're saving their counter pick for Wind Chill, so we'll just have to see.
Yeah, interesting to say the least.
And a Kog'Maw coming out. Okay.
Kog'Maw Lulu. So this is going to be a Malphite top lane, Yasuo mid, Echo jungle, right? Barring any shenanigans.
Or it could still be AP Kog'Maw mid, Lulu top, and we still get the Yasuo Malphite in the bot lane.
Maybe. Who knows at this point?
Yeah.
Silas maybe for Windshield in the mid lane.
And just looking, Malphite Echo and Lulu are going to be some great ults for Silas to pick up. Silas also got, Silas was also changed in patch 11.3, but he got a buff to his Q and W, I believe. So less mana on his W and more damage on his, less mana on his Q and more damage on his W. So looking to be a potent pick.
All right. So we will be getting the assistant coach for Pepperdine Esports, Kyle Cody Griffith, in here to talk a little bit about this shifting lineup for Pepperdine, as well as the interesting picks on both sides here. So,
Hey,
hello.
Kyle.
Hello. How are you guys today?
Welcome.
I'm good.
We were a bit surprised by the Pepperdine lineup today. Not so much the draft. We had heard rumors of fasting Senna, but I don't think any of us expected it to go quite like this.
Yeah, we decided after last week's game, we wanted to spice some things up and just try a new roster. So we moved Santo down to the bot lane. We've put Tyler in the mid lane, which is going to be playing mid lane, and then we've moved Scott into the jungle. We had a fair bit of success in scrims with this lineup, so we're sticking with it. Yeah, the picks are pretty, run of the mill. The Silas was, kind of a last pick. It's good into their team. Stealing the Malphite ult is really, really strong for us. We were a little surprised by the Malphite Yasuo combo from the other team, which is, I'm excited to see them pull it out and see what they can do with it.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see. I do want to mention, though, last year, Pepperdine did manage to secure the win in the WCC, but we lost 2-0 against University of Pacific, or 0-2 against University of the Pacific in our first ever WCC game, them running the Yasuo Malphite. Do you think that they were trying to trip that mental trigger in us, or do you think the guys got it? They will not make that mistake again.
Yeah, I doubt it. That didn't come up. We never talked about it. That is news to me, so I'm not too worried about it.
All right. We were partially worried they were picking the Echo too to make us, mental break after last week. But
no, I think we'll be all right. We're in a good mental space right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I noticed, putting Winshow in the mid lane gives him a lot more map impact, other than jungle. So it'll be interesting to see. Overall, as assistant coach, what are you hoping to see out of the league players in this game on either side?
Yeah, so the big thing for us this week and what we've been focusing on is objective control. We haven't had the best early dragon control throughout the season thus far, and so that was a big thing for us. And then communication, just making sure that we're all on the same page and making the same calls. Both those things have been practiced this week. It was a lot of the focus, dedicating different in-game shot callers so that way each game we had different voices, trying to get us all to play the same game rather than, playing each individual game. So that's been our focus. That's what I'm hoping to see tonight is good shot calling, decisive shot calling, and then objective focus.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what this comp and this lineup can do. Yeah, and I'm really excited to hear that you guys bounced back from last week. So very excited for this game.
Yeah, scrims are going good.
Yeah, best of one. So we've got one chance to try it out, and we'll see how it goes. We'll be loading it in right about now. So thank you very much, Kyle, and we will hopefully have a wonderful game. But regardless, thank you for coming.
Thanks, Kyle. All right. Jumping in, I did not get a last look at the draft, and it looks like it is Senna ADC.
Yes, perhaps not fasting Senna, just normal Senna ADC. With the Nautilus, I would not expect it to be fasting, but
So
we could
I'm guessing it will be the
spiciness.
Kraken Slayer build, but
Yeah, Kraken Slayer into, you said Rapid Fire and
Rageblade.
Rageblade?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'm very interested to see it, but we will be loading in here shortly. It's stuck on 100%, as we all know League is wont to do. All right. I think I can switch us over here in just a second. Come
So
on,
just
client, I
glancing
believe in you.
over at the matchups right now, Kog'Maw and Lulu, I feel like should beat out Senna Nautilus. Yasuo should be out the Silas, and the top lane is just a tank versus tank matchup, so not that important, but Pepperdine's looking to have a very weak early laning phase, I feel like.
Yeah, I can Certainly expect that, but it looks like they're pinging that bot side. I don't know if they're going to end up 5-pointing or going for an invade. Looks like they're clumping up there towards the top side. Pacific does a 5-point, so...
Looks like we have the Nautilus hovering around Scott, and we see Santo drop a ward down and goes to 5-point, yeah.
To Watermelon God gets spot out there. The Echo's back is stopped.
Yeah. I wonder the reasoning behind their positioning here. I feel like Pepperdine does have a stronger level 1, so they could have tried something there, I feel like.
I think the Nautilus positioning there was trying to see if that Echo did go for that deep ward at the red buff. He could have gotten caught out there, but also Scott was just kind of standing in that opening, so maybe that wasn't the plan.
And Scott gets a late start to his blue, but should be fine.
Both teams having their bot sides leash for their jungler. Echo will pick up red buff first to the Udyr's blue buff.
So I'm guessing that Udyr just clears faster and he will have the first move to the top scuttle. So I'd like to see Sir Andre just straight path to the bot scuttle after he clears his top side.
Yeah, this Senna is taking farm and she does not have the support item. No fasting today.
As we see Scott enters his top side at 225 while Echo is still on his Raptors.
We're seeing that early CS lead open up for Udyr here, but Echo's not far behind.
We see actually Julian in the top lane pulling up a lead. Seems to be winning out.
Being very aggressive on that Shen and taking those trades.
Shen is actually known for having a surprisingly strong early game. Many a times I've been solo killed in solo queue with Ignite Shen top.
No Ignite today, but certainly that early game pressure.
As we see Silas actually getting the push in on Yasuo.
See some more trades coming out here, and looks like actually Windchill's in a bit of trouble, and the first blood goes over to Dolan's ring on the Yasuo. And now the Malphite's in a little bit of trouble. Echo's there to cover. Will Pepperdine get the kill in time? Scott's running away. The Watermelon God's cut out now, slowed by the Malphite Q.
Wow,
And ends
just
up getting
perfectly.
the delayed stun from the Echo E.
Yeah, it looked like the animation kind of disappeared there, but it didn't, and
Yeah,
Julian
that might
ended
have
up
been
getting-
spectator view, but now two
Yeah.
kills going over to the Yasuo.
But the Yasuo, very confident, held on to his flash and managed to solo kill Windchill 400. As we can see already, Yasuo is up 600 gold already at 4 minutes on his counterpart.
But we do see both the Silas and the Udyr bot side looking for a play on this bot lane, potentially to do a tower dive. Nautilus is pretty low.
Wow, beautiful hook onto Lulu, and Kog'Maw falls right here.
Nice. We do lose Scott in that play, but it is ultimately a 2-for-1.
As Yasuo's here as well.
Potentially that Nautilus got to be feeling a little nervous, but with Silas and Senna there, Yasuo doesn't
Very
go
well
for it.
done. Pepperdine sticks together. No sign of fear as they escort the Nautilus out.
The vision control for the Dragon does belong to University of the Pacific, though, and it does look like Yasuo and Echo are doing it, but they get spot out with the scrying orb. Scott's there, but doesn't look like he's going to ultimately contest.
Yeah, they would just have to give it. Yasuo also building up a level lead. Oh, well now it's caught up, but Windchill there actually sacrificed one wave to make that bot dive. So we'll see if it ends up being worth it. As again, Windchill is just on the move, looking for this roam timer up top.
Nice gank up in the top lane. Nothing ultimately comes of it.
And Windchill just sacks another wave. Currently Yasuo level 6, but does get the Malphite flash.
Well, when I said regarding the pick of having Windchill go to the mid lane to give him more map impact, I was not expecting that he just would not be in mid lane and would just constantly roam. But, you know, if it winds up working, it winds up working. We'll have to see.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely a unique playstyle of just sacking your own lane to help win in other lanes. Yeah. As we see now, because of Windchill's roam bot now has the advantage, and they're zoning their counterparts off the wave. See Scott trying to loop around to the top lane. This Malphite has no flash, but has ult. We'll have to ult out here.
Scott is there.
Gets away, no problem.
Does burn his ultimate though, so for a while he does not have that potential playmaking ability.
As Julian is looking to hit 6 here, he just did. So the side of Pacific has to be aware of that.
They definitely need to have
tool.
someone tracking that ultimate here. Oh, the Echo is here. Senna does use her E. They'll
They
ultimately
barely
be
escape.
safe. What is that Udyr skin? I'm very
That might be
confused.
Black Belt Udyr.
With the
I don't know.
weird head. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's not relevant to anything. I was just so confused by it.
As both junglers look to split the map, Malphite actually forces Scott off the Herald.
Yeah,
As
and
bot
it
needs to be
looks
careful,
like-
they can get dove here.
Oh, the Nautilus will discover the Echo in the jungle. Oh, the Echo's actually in a bit of trouble here, rooted by the Senna.
Wow,
Uses
very well
his
done from
ultimate.
Pepperdine. As Lulu flashes over,
All right.
Echo jumps
I
back
mean,
over.
Windchill is there. The Lulu
Ultimate's
ultimate
out.
goes down to keep Sir Andre alive, but it's
And the bot lane is just stuck.
yeah, they're completely cut off. That was what potentially a great play by University of the Pacific that was unfortunately ruined by, first of all, poor positioning, and second of all, the fact that Pepperdine instantly collapsed and was able to cover for their bot lane.
Yeah, that was really well played from the Nautilus and the Senna. They chained their CC really well so that Echo didn't really get a good chance to ult until he was too low. As that play from Sir Andre kind of baited his team as well, so very, very unfortunate.
I do
Shen
see
ults
an
down.
Ocean Drake is coming up here in about 45 seconds, so Pepperdine might be setting up. The Nautilus is clearing out vision and getting vision around that Drake right now. Scott's there as well. So with the Watermelon God pressuring in top lane and still Or no, he doesn't have an ultimate, so.
Yeah, he ulted down and he used TP to go back to the top lane. So he
Yeah.
won't be here for the dragon, but neither will Malphite, so.
Udyr and Silas getting in a scuffle here in the top, or in the mid lane, excuse me. Sir Andre goes down. Silas
Wow.
used the Echo ultimate to stay alive there, or to stay healthy, I should say, and it worked out.
Dodges out on the Yasuo tornado, and and Pepperdine wins out on the 2v2, and this dragon will be theirs.
Definitely.
As Echo just respawned, is running over.
Shen and Malphite just throwing chunks at each other. But it ultimately doesn't matter because it provides the pressure that they need to just get the dragon.
Silas picks up Seeger's arm guard, a very respectful buy to. Oh, wow!
Malphite ultimate to the Echo will ultimately go down to iTunes gift card, but iTunes gift card will in turn go down to Scott.
Brilliant flash from the watermelon god.
It very nearly worked all on his own. That was a very, very good play.
Yeah, he bought a lot of time for Scott to make his way up there.
To be fair, Udyr with tier 2 boots doesn't need a lot of time.
Very
He
true.
can get there pretty quick. Notably though, despite Pepperdine having the kill advantage right now, they are still slightly down in gold due to the CS advantage, especially there in the mid lane, as well as a few plates going over to the side of University of the Pacific.
Yasuo is up about 800 gold, and for both bot laners, oh, Kog'Maw is actually 200 gold up on Senna, so. Yeah, despite what the kill board says, Pacific is currently up in gold.
So we see the
Windchill TP's down.
takes the
Forces
Lulu
Kog'Maw's
ultimate and
draft.
he used it on
Flash.
himself.
And they get Kog'Maw's flash. It was very nice. That was Lulu's heal is just coming up, so they played around the cooldown.
Some more spiciness going on here in the bot lane as Sir Andre smites to stay alive, but Scott will, I think, get the kill here onto iCarry as Kog'Maw. Keeping that Kog'Maw shut down for as long as possible. Though he does already have his Kraken Slayer.
Yeah, Kog'Maw being one of the most immobile AD carries in the game. Does not like to go against Udyr, I'll have to say.
Or the Silas or the Shen or basically any of Pepperdine's team. More
Yeah.
spiciness here in the top lane as well. Oh, Sir Andre caught out here. Echo ult doesn't end up helping because he basically went right back to where he started.
Yeah, Sir Andre just not respecting the fact that Pepperdine's still in their jungle and that he has no vision. Greeds for his raptors and falls for it.
Yeah, important to note that Pepperdine is doing a much better job this game versus previous games with control of the vision in the enemy jungle. You'll notice that control ward topside that's been there for quite a while at this point, as well as the added vision there in the bot side jungle, bot blue side jungle, I should say, for University of the Pacific.
And this is very nice and very refreshing. I see that Pepperdine's initiating a lot more plays now. They're more proactive and it seems to be working.
Yeah, they had a bit of a diciness there in the very start of the game, but as you mentioned, they had a rather weak laning phase overall. So as plays start getting made and we start moving here into the mid game, we'll start seeing the full power of Pepperdine's draft and, you know, roster lineup change that's focused on playmaking.
As Silas completes the Hextech Rocket Bell.
As we,
That's very interesting.
I just watched a Watermelon God lose a cannon, and yeah, it's fine. We don't mention those. Well, whoops.
F. But usually I do see a lot of Leandries on Silas, so I'm not quite sure how Rocket Bell will work, but
You don't think that he needs to hit like a fourth dash?
I mean, Leandries is really nice because it gives the mythic passive of ability haste, but what do I know? I'm an ADC main.
Yeah, oh, a nice root there from the Senna. But ultimately, Liu does have to flash out. The Pepperdine Blue buff will go over to Sir Andre, but Wind Chill is smacking iTunes play card around. Scott's there and very quick on the Udyr. Pepperdine definitely is trying to get this Cloud Drake.
As Pacific is pretty chunked, their main engage Malphite is half health. Julian is pressuring
Not yet
up,
with a full
yeah.
item.
The Watermelon God is pressuring the top lane as Pacific must feel pressured to start this drag.
Yeah, notably, the Watermelon God is in the top lane. Pepperdine not going to fight for this one, apparently, but they're going to potentially get some other resources on the map.
Yeah, and they choose to give it, and looks like they will be going for the Herald in the top lane, and Shen there gets a lot of solo XP and turret damage, so a trade-off for sure.
Oh, the Echo will be there to cover this Herald take. 3 players from the side of University of the Pacific are up there around that Herald versus the 2 from Pepperdine. So it looks like even this will go over the University of the Pacific as well, unless Scott makes a play here. And the Herald will go over.
As they choose to give it. I mean, it is a Cloud Soul, so it's pretty bad on Udyr and Silas. So I'm guessing Pepperdine just does not care about the dragons here.
I mean, that feels bad, but Scott manages to flash out of the worst of it, and the Shen is here to turn this fight around. Wind Chill gets the shutdown onto the Yasuo. Udyr is speeding up, trying to get at the side of University of the Pacific here, and what looked to be a really, really bad situation for Scott was turned around by a really good flash and covering from his team.
The Udyr and Silas are incredibly strong right now. Ooh, as Echo does get the... Does he? No, the Udyr got the blue, and Scott's looking to run them down here.
Scott's in a little bit of trouble. Got maybe a little bit aggressive on the Echo there, but the Watermelon God ultimately gets the top turret, so I don't think worth, but
I mean, Scott got the blue there, so I'm gonna just say hashtag worth there. Shutdown is just a number, so.
But then he gave the blue over to their team by dying.
That does not matter. He got the blue buff, and that's what really matters.
All that matters. I won the Smite battle.
That's a jungle diff in all chat at the end of the game.
Okay. I'll trust you.
But a mid-tier 3 drops down, and it looks like Pepperdine's bot lane will run to the mid lane while Silas goes to the bot lane.
Important to note that Pepperdine does have about a 1k gold lead here, so a slight advantage. We'll have to see what they can make use of it. The Silas now has a 600 gold bounty.
Surprisingly, Silas is still behind in gold compared to the Yasuo.
Yeah, despite his 70% kill participation.
The Yasuo, though, Dolan's Ring has been really consistent, just passively farming and building himself this gold lead.
Solidly the most CS in the game by a good margin, over 30 CS, nearly 40. Potentially they'll be getting this bottom tower too.
I'm very interested to see what Pepperdine does here. How do they convert this into a win?
Take this Herald top side, University of Pacific does. I don't know why I said that like Yoda, but here we are.
As Pepperdine, wow, has lost all their tier 3 turrets. I'm
And
guessing they win through just getting Elder in the end. I'm not sure if they can just brute force this game. Brute force it into a win, but we'll see.
Pepperdine, I think, should prioritize this Drake because it might not, like, Soul ultimately might not do them the most good, but I still think that you should deny it from the enemy team here.
That's right.
If only for seeing the glory of the Udyr crossing the map in 2 seconds meme.
Yeah. And it looks like, I feel like this 5v5 Pacific will win. So they
Depends
just have
on
to...
the positioning. If they can get a good everything off, I think. If Pepperdine can position well, then they take the fight as it progresses on. But the Wombo is strong from University of the Pacific.
Yeah, they just got the Kog'Maw Lulu, which is just very safe and not by Yasuo. But on the side of Pepperdine, they have really good globals from Senna and Shen. They should definitely play off the side lanes.
Now the Malphite ultimate is in the Silas's hands. We'll
As
have to
Kog'Maw and
see.
Lulu actually returned to base, and Pepperdine doesn't know it, and they choose to back off again. Okay, as we grouped up here.
Drake is here, and Pepperdine starts it. Potentially Sir Andre is looking for the steal play here. He goes in a bit early. Pepperdine backs off of it right now.
Okay, the dragon reset a little bit there. It goes back into the pit.
Nice Nautilus hook into the Senna W. But University of the Pacific now looks in a good spot to get this Drake. But it gets stolen or goes over the side of Pepperdine, and a wonderful Malphite ultimate though from the University of the Pacific into the Yasuo ultimate.
Wow,
that
what a
was a
fight.
very interesting fight. 2 Malphite ultimates. That's why I got a bit confused. I thought originally it was Pepperdine's Malphite ultimate that knocked him up, but then the Yasuo went, and I was like, oh, I think both of them were used there.
Yeah, I think that was really great communication from Pepperdine there. The Silas Malphite ulted into the Senna ulted. Senna ult onto the Echo, and he instantly dies. And the Dragon goes over to the Pepperdine, but Pacific lands a great Malphite ulti onto 3 members of Pepperdine, and they turned it around.
Yeah.
All in all, a very close fight.
And we just saw, like you predicted, the Kog'Maw just kind of shred from the back line.
Yeah, there, the Nautilus had to get out. He had to flash out. He was just getting pelted from Kog'Maw there. As it must not feel nice to be Nautilus this game. It's very hard to just not die once you queue in.
Mm-hmm. So you managed to do it though, to live, but I don't know how much he really provided to that fight. The Lulu ultimate going over to the Silas here.
Okay, Pepperdine just trying to get topside vision. May try to sneak the Baron, I'm not sure, or look for a pick and then do Baron. But their Baron speed shouldn't be that quick. Actually, no, for certain, I'm certain that it's not quick with the Senna and the Silas.
Notice the CS on that Yasuo, 234 at 25 minutes. Very,
Doing
very
very
good
well.
pace.
Doing very well. Although his top laner 115, half his CS. As both top laners this game, not getting that much love.
Hmm. Very true.
Looks like Scott might look for play here. He runs at the Yasuo. Forcing his flash and the Malphite TP. Wow, very nice.
We'll have to see what Pepperdine can do while the Malphite lacks that map pressure. And the Yasuo has that key weakness. If he gets locked down by some CC, that could do Pepperdine a lot of good.
Though I do feel like Pepperdine is in quite the conundrum here. Do they hard focus the Yasuo and let the Cog free DPS, or focus the Yasuo, or focus the Kog'Maw and potentially get 5-man ulted?
Yeah, because while the Yasuo does have the most CS in the game at 241, the Kog'Maw has 211 CS as well, and 3 kills as well. So both of them are very rich boys, holding a well, actually, if you look at it, comparing Windchill and Dolan's Ring, they are pretty even in gold, actually.
Yeah. A 500 gold lead in
Yasuo
both.
does ult the Silas, but the Shen is there to cover for him, and Dolan's Ring is in a bit of trouble. But Windchill
Wow.
goes very, very low.
That
This
was
is
very
one of those
close.
times where you have to think, whew, by the skin of their teeth. Scott gets the stun onto the Echo here, whittling him down.
Yeah, Udyr
In a
definitely
good
wins
spot to
this.
use his ultimate. He does have it. And iCarry is there to cover.
As Windchill uses his TP. Finds a good position,
wow.
ults onto the Kog'Maw. And the Kog'Maw falls.
Wonderful layering of abilities there from Pepperdine, all the way from the Silas, what's it, W into the Yasuo ultimate into the everything. That was just very well played from the side of Pepperdine.
Very good pick from Windchill and very smart from Pepperdine to look for a fight while Yasuo is dead.
Oh, and it looks like Sir Andre's in a bit of trouble here, because, yep, Pepperdine is there.
Very well done. It looks like the third drag will be theirs. Third dragon, very important.
Because now, after securing this Cloud Drake, Pepperdine will be the one with the 4th dragon pressure. They can force a fight here in 5 minutes if they so desire.
As Windchill actually, very interesting, has 2 different item components. I'm guessing that's going into the Rabadons and not the Horizon focus for Silas. But we will see.
Yeah, for the life of me, I'm struggling. I temporarily forgot that the absurdly large rod builds into something other than Rabadons now. So I was just like, what? I can't remember.
No, you're good.
I'm still figuring it all out, I guess.
As Senna picks up her rapid fire cannon, and Kog'Maw is still struggling to complete Blade of the Ruined King.
Notably, Santo is making up some of this CS difference that the Kog'Maw opened up there in the mid game, and he has 3 kills of his own.
That's wild.
So you're taking a lot of damage to get that ward.
Yeah, Kog'Maw insanely strong right now.
Yeah, good support, good support. Int to get the ward.
As it does look like Silas is going for the Rabadons.
Yeah, he just has that sheen in there for now. He might not keep it, but he might also later turn it into a Lich Bane. We'll have to see.
So Senna right now, just taking a look at her, currently has 52 souls. So against Senna, you need it's every 20 souls for
Mm-hmm.
you to get that upgrade. So a very low soul count right now for the Senna.
Mm-hmm.
Had she gone fasting Senna, she would have had like 80 at like 20 minutes. So very interesting. Pepperdine here. Started out as 5, chose to send Shen to the bot lane.
He does have his ultimate, so he can join a fight at a moment's notice.
As Echo just sneaks the Scuttle Crab right under Pepperdine's nose. Oh, and Yasuo actually built a Dead Man's Plate.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Dead Man's Plate actually got nerfed.
And it looks like University of the Pacific's going to go for this Baron. Being melted by the Kog'Maw here. I think Pepperdine's going to have to give it up. Scott
Wow,
tries
Scott
to steal
barely
it.
gets it.
Goes very low to the Kog'Maw there. Pepperdine in a bit of trouble as Huyu goes down to the Kog'Maw as well. The Watermelon got caught out. Will go down to Sir Andre. The Yasuo ultimate will get Wind Chill. And the shutdown will go over to Dolan's ring. That was just a very unfortunate play there from Pepperdine. Swinging the gold difference to University of the Pacific.
As University of Pacific can look to end here. It looks like it might be GG.
Yeah, Pepperdine's strongest player is still going to be dead for the next 20 seconds.
Wow. And they're all going for it.
It's going to be very close, but ultimately, yeah, Pepperdine does lose off of that pretty abysmal Baron play.
I mean, in the end, they just lost vision for that 20 or so seconds. And again, yeah, like you said, the Kog'Maw is able to melt the Baron.
Yeah, and you cannot diminish the accomplishment of University of the Pacific. Not only was that Baron play extremely well executed, but also just in general, the way that they, cycled through who was taking the tower shots there to make sure that they all stayed healthy enough to not go immediately down to the players that Pepperdine did have up, and then as well as the focus on the Nexus there, that was just very well played from the side of University of the Pacific.
Mm-hmm. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Very well played.
Mm-hmm. And I carry on that Kog'Maw knew his job and did it well. Stay alive and just whittle them down.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of promise from Pepperdine there as they got that third Drake, but ultimately it can all swing in the span of a fight, especially when there's that much damage in the game right now, and when your entire team basically gets wiped out in one fight and you've lost all of your, tier 3s, you've lost your tier 2 mid, it's not difficult to immediately turn around and swing the whole game.
Yeah, as Pepperdine there, they need to identify that they lose the 5v5 every time and needed to play off of the sides more, but yeah.
Yeah. So definitely disappointing. Hate to lose, but congratulations to the University of the Pacific Tigers. GG, good game, and we will see y'all again in this WCC season. So when we do, welcome back, and we look forward to the next one. So good luck in the rest of your games, and have a great night, everybody else. Is there anything you would like to say, Cody, before we hop off for the evening?
No, I think I've said it all. I hope everyone has a good night.
All right. And bye.